first in the Coachella Valley. You're watching KMIR-TV Palm Springs, where the news comes first. KMIR News starts now.
A very sad night today here in the Coachella Valley. This is the KMIR News at 5. I'm Angela Monroe. We're continuing to follow breaking news out of Palm Springs. Some tragic news once again to report. 3 officers have been shot. 2 of those officers have died from their injuries. They were responding to a domestic call in Palm Springs in the area of Chuparosa and Racket Club. The 3rd officer was wounded. He's still in the hospital being treated right now. We've learned that one of those officers was about to retire. He was actually on his day off. He was set to retire in December. He'd been a veteran of the police department for about 30 years. And the other police officer, she had just had a child 4 months ago. Now that child has lost their mother. It's again just a tragic day in Palm Springs. We just heard from Chief Brian Reyes from the Palm Springs Department, who briefed us on what happened. The suspect still is at large. We want to take you to the scene with Dan Ball, who is there with the latest. Dan?
Hey, Angela, this is still very much a fluid scene. I'm going to step out of the way and have my photographer, Matt, show you what's going on right now. But first of all, I want to tell the public, if they are anywhere near Racket Club and Cerritos, where we're standing north about 4 or 5 blocks, do not come in this area. They have the street blocked down. There are helicopters above, canine units, the bomb squad is here, the SWAT team. Just stay away from this area if you can. Now, let me get out of the way, show you what's going on right now. And back up a little bit. Angela, I know you told them at around 1 o'clock. That's when Palm Springs PD got the initial call of some sort of domestic dispute on Cypress Road. When the 3 officers approached that home, we are told that there was not a confrontation, but shots were immediately fired onto those 3 officers. As you said, we've now learned about the 2 officers that had passed, and the other officer who is still recovering at the hospital. I think we're going to have more from Julie Bueller on the latest on the 3 officers that were shot, live from the hospital in just a few moments. But first, got to continue to tell you about what's happening out here and keep people away from this area. I was just up the street, a couple blocks up the way here near Cypress, where this shooting took place nearly about 4.5 hours ago, now 3.5 hours ago, actually around 1. And there are snipers on the rooftops. They have this house completely surrounded. As you can see, 2 helicopters, I believe one is CHP, the other is Riverside County Sheriff's. They have been hovering over top of this house now for hours. I just saw the bomb squad bring in their robot. So again, this is still an active scene. That active shooter who fired the shots at those 3 officers is either still in that home or somewhere in this neighborhood, and that's why the police want you to stay away. Again, I think we have a map, if we can bring that up and show folks exactly where this is, and I'll tell you some of the streets that are blocked off. And again, I just got on the scene a little while ago, so I'm going to try and look around here as we bring that map up and tell you what to avoid. You want to avoid anything from Racket Club, between Cerritos, west about 3 or 4 blocks, and all the way north to Joyce. So pretty much from Racket Club to Joyce, in that big, it's probably not a square mile block, but it's a big block of North Palm Springs. You definitely want to just stay away from this area. Police have closed off the roadways. They're turning people around. Even if you live in this area, you most likely won't be allowed to your home. This is an active shooter scene. Now, I believe, Angela, we can throw it back to you. Not sure if we have Julie Bueller ready to go at Desert Regional Medical Center to talk about the condition of those officers, but I believe Julie is out there, and we have our Kitty Alvarado also live over at police headquarters, where we just, I believe, spoke with the interim police chief there, Reyes, about exactly what went down today. But again, very much a fluid situation out here, and that's why officers want you to stay away while they try and bring this suspect to justice. Angela, I'll throw it back to you, and hopefully we'll get some more reports from our other reporters here.
Thank you for that update, Dan. We'll check in with you later in the show. Now, we were just at that press conference at 4:30 with the Palm Springs Police Department. That's where our Kitty Alvarado is now, who can hopefully give us some more details on this tragic event and sum up more of what Police Chief Brian Reyes had to say about this truly tragic shooting of 3 officers, once again, 2 of them dead. Kitty, what's the latest?
Well, Angela, I can tell you that Chief Reyes kept breaking down every time he would mention the names of the officers, and when he gave that update, he brought the entire room to tears. Take a look here at Palm Springs Police Department headquarters. It's already turned into a makeshift memorial. Just a few minutes ago, a mom and a little girl brought flowers saying that they knew Officer Vega because he helped them on a call. He was a very well-respected member of this department, a 35-year veteran of the Palm Springs Police Department. He was set to retire in December. He wasn't even supposed to be working today. He was working an overtime shift, and sadly, he's one of the officers who lost his life today. The other officer, Leslie Sabrini, a one-year only on the department 1 year, and she just returned back from maternity leave. She has a 4-month-old baby, and the entire room there, as Chief Reyes gave an update, council members, the mayor, they were all in tears. They already have their blue ribbons pinned on, and they are absolutely devastated. They were all consoling each other, but Council member Ginny said that she was at the hospital. When she arrived here, she was in tears. We also are told that the other officer who was shot, he was shot, but he is doing okay. He is expected to survive. So a bit of good news among so much tragedy here today. The Palm Springs Police Department is absolutely heartbroken today. The community is devastated today. They lost 2 of their officers, and this community, they love their officers. One community member told me this just does not happen in Palm Springs. We love and support our police department. They are community-based. Not too long ago, I did sit down with Officer Hutchinson, and he was telling me how much they are involved in this community, how much they love this community. Also, Chief Reyes was at our Orlando shooting community forum, and he's very involved, and so this is very tough because they base what they do on community policing, and they love this community. So for 2 of their officers to be killed today when they're responding to a simple domestic violence call, as he put it, a simple domestic violence call, and they were simply trying to get the suspect to comply, and they were shot and killed. He is absolutely devastated. He told us he felt like he was awake, living in a nightmare, and all of our thoughts and prayers go out to this department, and we will have more updates from headquarters. We are set to have another press conference. Hopefully they will update us on the suspect and who they are looking for and what the community needs to look out for. So far, they just say the perimeter there is on lockdown, and they will give us updates on the suspect. But for now, he is still at large, and this community is in mourning. Reporting live from Palm Springs, Kitty Alvarado, KMIR News.
Thank you for that, Kitty. And yes, definitely all of us here at KMIR send our thoughts and prayers out to the entire Palm Springs Police Department, the entire Palm Springs community. Now, we're also out at Desert Regional Medical Center in Palm Springs. That is where all 3 of the officers were taken when they were shot. Our Julie Bueller there is live to let us know what is happening there. Julie, what can you tell us at this point?
Angela, a very sober tone here at the hospital earlier. It has been on lockdown for the past couple hours, and people that were out here were saying that they were told that they'll be waiting some 4 to 5 hours before that lockdown is lifted. But we heard stories of family members of the now that we know deceased police officers coming to the door searching for information, and around the side of the hospital you could see other family members hysterically crying, understanding the weight and the gravity of what happened earlier today. Now, the hospital staff do say that a lockdown is incredibly rare. In fact, some of the upper management said they can't remember a moment that they have had it on lockdown, but they did say also that they are taking emergency vehicles. Emergency situations will be vetted, but they will be allowed to be treated here at the hospital. Anyone can leave the hospital, but visitors are not allowed in. And hospital staff say that they are conferring with police to determine when the lockdown will be lifted. They did say that as long as a suspect is at large, though, it will be the Palm Springs Police Department's call as to whether or not this lockdown is lifted and the restrictions, or if the restrictions are in place. It is an incredibly tragic day, obviously, and that's what the tone here at the hospital is. The condition of the 3rd officer involved in the shooting is still unknown. We do know that at 5:45 there will be another update, and perhaps we'll learn then the condition of the 3rd officer. But again, our condolences go out to the families that we saw here at the hospital, grieving immensely on this very tragic day here in Palm Springs.
Thank you so much for that report, Kitty. Once again, we have learned that Officer Jose Gilbert Vega, who was a 30-year veteran with the Palm Springs Police Department, has died. He was actually on his day off when he was shot. Another officer, Officer Leslie Zarebny, had just had a child, a 4-month-old child, when she was shot and killed today as well. Once again, we are waiting to learn the condition of that third officer, and there is still an active scene in Palm Springs. So once again, if you are in that area around Racket Club and Sunrise, there is a great deal of roads shut down in that area. Do not go there. There's still an active situation as they look for the shooter. And as you just heard, Desert Regional, part of that emergency room, is locked down too right now. We will, of course, continue to bring you more on the story. Now, in other breaking news, this out of Palm Desert today, firefighters battling an apartment fire. They tell us that it started around 3:45 this afternoon, right off Candlewood and Abronia Trail. Now, we haven't had any reports of injuries from that fire. It is a 3-story apartment fire, and as you can tell, a lot of smoke and flames coming from that. 2 more engines were called in to help fight that blaze. There are road closures in that area, so once again, be careful if you are in that area of Palm Desert. Still to come on KMIR News, Hurricane Matthew turning deadly in Florida with at least 4 people dead, the massive storm weakening, but officials say it's still dangerous. We have the latest.
Stressed out, rushed, always on the go? Sunline Transit Agency now has the best way to get around and save time. Take the bus using the convenient SunBus Tracker. Track your bus with this free state-of-the-art mobile app with up-to-the-minute alerts. See exactly where your bus is and where it's going. Gain time to study, work, or catch up on social media. With the SunBus Tracker, it's never been easier to ride the bus.
At Mathis Brothers, you'll always find the lowest price every day on more than 200 sofas starting at less than $300, including all the latest looks, like this contemporary sofa in a textured linen for just $589. This traditional sofa in a soft corduroy is a great buy at $598. This sectional, perfect for small spaces with shades, is just $487. Latest looks, best prices, great customer service, Mathis Brothers.
No network is better equipped than Fios from Frontier to handle all of your devices. Get up to a $400 Amazon.com gift card when you switch to a qualifying triple play with 2-year agreement. Fios lets you game, stream, and share the way you want. The choice is easy. Get Fios TV, internet, and voice now for $79.99 per month for 12 months with qualifying new services. And get a $400 Amazon.com gift card. Experience the power of Fios fiber optics. Call 1-888-FRONTIER.
I'm often asked what makes Flooring Innovations different. I love that question. Not only do we carry the very best names in carpet, we have 2 showrooms with the most beautiful products for your home. Our selection exceeds your wildest expectations. Tile, hardwood, laminates, and we've just introduced American-made cabinets. Our service is impeccable, our installers are top-notch, and we stand behind every project. I invite you to come find out the Flooring Innovations difference for yourself.
KMIR News is brought to you in part by General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Call the General. You're watching KMIR News at 5 with Angela Monroe and forecaster Brian Gallo.
Hurricane Matthew is moving north, weaker but still dangerous. It made landfall on the South Carolina coast as a Category 1 storm, packing winds of up to 85 miles an hour. It is being blamed for 4 deaths in Florida. Holly Furfer is in Daytona Beach with the latest.
Hurricane Matthew weakened as it moved up the Georgia and Carolina coasts. But the storm was still strong enough to bring heavy rain, significant storm surges, and flooding with it. Officials warn that residents aren't in the clear just because the storm has been downgraded.
But as soon as this hurricane turned inward, which is what we didn't want, yes, it did downgrade into wind, but it upgraded into the volume of water. And water can kill.
And what I am going to ask for you is patience. Most injuries, most fatalities occur after a storm because people attempt to move in too soon. Do not plan on going back home today or tomorrow.
Early Sunday, Matthew's northern eye wall, the most dangerous part of the storm, hammered coastal South Carolina with hurricane-force winds. Rainfall totals are expected to exceed 12 inches in some areas. Matthew killed hundreds of people in the Caribbean, the majority in Haiti. Then it moved on to Florida's east coast. There were casualties and more than 1 million people left without power. Heavy rain drenched the eastern part of the state, while strong winds pushed debris and trees into the street. Now, as Georgia and the Carolinas wait for the storm to pass, Florida is picking up the pieces.
I mean, there's a lot of beach erosion. Quite a few pockets of our road damaged along, right along the coast. And then we still have a lot of flooding, and we still have a lot of downed trees.
In Daytona Beach, Florida, I'm Holly Furfer.
And now to Decision 2016. With the presidential election just 31 days away and a day away from the second presidential debate, Donald Trump is apologizing for lewd comments he made about women back in 2005. This comes after a tape surfaced just yesterday catching Trump in an unguarded moment. But in his apology, Trump also attacked Hillary and Bill Clinton. Katie Turr picks up this story.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the
After those outrageous remarks, finally a contrite Trump.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
But that remorse quickly turning into an attack.
Bill Clinton has actually abused women, and Hillary has bullied, attacked, shamed, and intimidated his victims.
The nominee's brief apology, believed to be unprecedented in his public life, came after a 2005 tape surfaced revealing a conversation between Trump and then Access Hollywood host Billy Bush. Trump brags about groping women, laughing off an effort to seduce Access Hollywood's Nancy O'Dell.
It's huge news there.
No, Nancy, no, this was, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took out furniture. I moved on her like a but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden I see her. She's now got the big phony and everything. She's totally changed her look.
The comments were caught on a hot mic during a publicity tour, 8 months after he married his third wife, Melania, who was already pregnant. Overnight, a deluge of GOP condemnation, leaving Trump no other choice but to repent. One campaign staffer calling it their very own hurricane. GOP Chairman Reince Priebus saying no woman should ever be described in these terms or talked about in this manner, ever. And Paul Ryan disinviting Trump from a scheduled appearance in Wisconsin today, saying he is sickened. Utah's former and sitting Republican governors, along with Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz and Senator Mike Lee, revoking their support.
I can no longer endorse Donald Trump for president. Just can't do it.
Swing state operatives are calling this the end, and some high-profile voices even demanding he drop out. But Trump isn't leaving.
We will discuss this more in the coming days. See you at the debate on Sunday.
Well, today was absolutely sensational. A warm one with above-average temperatures, but clear skies and drier weather. How long? I'll let you know coming up.
When severe storms affect the valley, turn to the most respected weather team in town.
We do have a weather alert from the National Weather Service.
Keeping an eye on the sky.
Our live Doppler radar showing some rain coming down to the east end of the valleys. Could be heavier once those thunderstorms occur.
Accuracy matters.
We've been telling you about the storm for the past week. You were surprised you weren't watching our show.
That's why KMIR is where news and weather come first.
When people ask us what makes Desert Alarm different, our answer is always the same. We offer top-of-the-line security at bottom-line prices.
Hello, my name is Chris Medane. We are extending our summer special. Receive a complete security system package installed at no cost to you and no setup charges.
And if you're not happy with your current provider, switch your service to Desert Alarm today and receive your first 3 months monitoring free. There is no better time to switch than now. Call today, 322-1562.
When it comes to buying your next vehicle, the Cathedral City Auto Center is better for you. With professional and courteous sales executives, we make getting the vehicle you want easy. At Cathedral City Auto Center, you'll get the best price on the vehicle you want. And with the biggest selection in the desert, you'll find the car, truck, or utility vehicle you're looking for. Come see why nearly 1 in every 2 buyers in the Coachella Valley choose the Cathedral City Auto Center, where it's better for you. ShopMyDesertAutos.com.
Change has never been more powerful. We're rolling out our capable new lineup during Nissan's Year of the Truck and SUV event. The all-new Armada and Pathfinder, plus the award-winning Murano and our best-selling Rogue with intuitive all-wheel drive. take on any terrain. Get to Nissan now for big savings, like a low $189 per month lease on the 2016 Rogue, or save up to $8,000 on Titan XD.
Aerial photography on KMIR News. Provided by Big Blue Air Helicopters, Bermuda Dunes. Where can Big Blue Air Helicopters take you? KMIR News is brought to you in part by General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Call the General.
Good evening, Coachella Valley. Happy Saturday night to you. As always, thank you so much for joining us. A beautiful day to be had here in our valley. Beautiful skies, open skies. Sky cover at its most minimal, I think, was about 8%. So you might have saw a few thin clouds saunter by, but for the most part, the skies were just open and gorgeous. Low dew points, nice dry air. Perfect for these festival goers. You guys got lucky this weekend. And today, actually the east end of the valley, Coachella saw a high of 99 degrees. Here in Palm Desert, we just touched 98. Right now, 96 degrees. I love this dew point, 26. We're pretty much almost at the tail end of our monsoonal moisture season, and our dew points have been anywhere between 40 upwards of 70. So drier climate, arid climate is what we are, so this is a beautiful number. And winds are checking calm right now. Festival goers, here's what's to anticipate for tomorrow. 97, beautiful. A few thin clouds passing by, but still drier air. And come Monday, as you exit in Columbus Day, still above average temperatures. 92 is what we should be seeing for this time of year. So it's going to be a lovely next couple of days for everyone, but especially desert trippers. Let me jump back to that just ever so briefly. As you see, we'll get a few low clouds kicked our way, some offshore flow, but for the most part, we're just going to have nice, clear, beautiful, calm conditions. We're going to dip down in temperatures come midweek. I'll show you in our 7-day, but for now, we're looking fairly nice. Remember, we are actually above average temperatures for this time of year. Lows shaping out beautifully. Feel free to crack that window, as we like to encourage. Mountain areas checking in the high 40s, 61 for both Cabazon and Whitewater. Hello, Marine, 62 will be your low tonight. Just beautiful conditions for us as we move into fall. So as you know, Monday comes Columbus Day, and here's that cool off. 92 is actually right where we should be, as you know. The atmosphere is going to take a bit of a break and leave us with some nice, drier, cooler conditions. But as you see, come Saturday, that warm-up is definitely in our hands. So make the best of this beautiful weather. These party goers got very lucky.
Fall is definitely here.
Indeed.
Thanks so much, Brian.
My pleasure.
And still to come on KMIR News, desert trips underway. We'll take you to day 2 when we return.
It's very explosive.
Felt like a movie.
She didn't want me to know any of it.
It just haunted him. He wasn't the person I thought he was.
Everybody's running down different leads.
We see him on the security cameras.
That's when the bombshell came down.
Don't watch alone.
I'm Chad Mays. 2 years ago, I asked for your trust to fight for lower taxes, better schools, and a stronger economy, to prove conservatives can govern. And we've done just that. But there's much more to do. Many of our neighbors remain out of work, unable to own a home, struggling to make ends meet. That's reality for too many, and it doesn't have to be that way. California can do better. Let's do it together. I'm Chad Mays. Join me.
Assemblyman Chad Mays, getting it done.
When is the right time for a new car or truck? It's right now, because Ford will give you up to $5,000 cash on a new F-150.
$5,000.
$5,000. That's hard to believe.
Wait, there's more. That cash is added to the value of your trade-in. If your car is worth $5,000, you'll get up to $10,000 on a new Ford.
You just made my down payment.
This is your chance to get paid to trade.
If this is real, we can get a car today.
It's real, but it's only at your Ford dealer.
On Saturday, October 22nd, you can get a great workout and make a community difference by participating in the 31st Annual Palm Springs Aerial Tram Road Challenge, a 6K run walk. Following the race, enjoy a post-race breakfast and award ceremony at Desert Regional Medical Center. Proceeds from the Palm Springs Aerial Tram Road Challenge benefit the United Way of the Desert. To register for the race, visit unitedwayofthedesert.org. Sponsored by the Desert Sun, KMIR-TV, and Spectrum Reach.
Weekend 1 of Desert Trip is underway. Day 1 wrapped up with Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones closing out the show last night. Some concert goers were satisfied with the first night, calling it an epic one. And Some told KMIR News that the traffic was so bad they were late to see the rock legends open up the show. But many were still excited for tonight as Sir Paul McCartney and Neil Young take the stage. And when we return, we are continuing to follow breaking news out of Palm Springs, where 3 police officers have been shot. 2 of those officers have died of their injuries. A suspect is still at large. We'll have more when we return.
Closed captioning. Brought to you by Palm Springs Nissan, where you get service, selection, and savings all in one.
The initiative would be terrible for veterans. To have to pay more for prescription drugs is not the way to go. My name is Lamont. I'm a retired Marine, and I oppose this misleading initiative.
Moore sells Stanley furniture for less. During Moore Furniture's 39th anniversary sale, the casually elegant style of Stanley is on sale. Enjoy special anniversary financing with no interest for 60 months. Save now on American classics for your home at the Stanley Gallery. Located in Rancho Mirage on Highway 111 next to Moore Furniture for Less. It's going on now.
Hey you, what's next?
I'm going to college.
I'm going to Stanford.
UC San Diego.
I'm going to major in health sciences, speech pathology. I'm going to earn a degree. When I grow up, I'm going to be a lawyer,
surgeon, philosopher,
football player. I want to be a dinosaur.
Think big.
Plan your future now. Join us October 11th in Rancho Mirage or October 12th in Indio.
I want to go to college.
The 30th Annual Desert AIDS Walk is Saturday, October 22nd. CARE begins with community. Walk to Help Desert AIDS Project provide health care to those who need it most. Go to desertaidswalk.org to register, walk, or donate.
I say it a lot, but your health really does matter. Stay with KMIR News for in-depth stories to help you live a longer, healthier, and happier life. I'm Janet Zapala, and KMIR is where the news comes first.
I think veterans should be taken care of across the board. This measure is going to cost veterans. It's either dinner on the table for their family or their medicine, or they're going to pick their family. Please join veterans in voting no on this initiative.
We're continuing to follow breaking news out of Palm Springs, where 3 police officers have been shot. 2 of those officers have died, 1 a veteran and 1 a new mother. We go now live to Dan Ball, who is at the scene where a suspect is still at large. Dan, what's the latest you can tell us?
Okay, put it so I can hear. Angela, let me give you a breakdown of what's going on right now. And for our KMIR viewers, if you just tuned in, this situation's still a very fluid season here. I'm going to step out of the way and talk about what's happening on the scene right now. Pretty much a small army of police officers are on the scene from Riverside County Sheriff's deputies, their SWAT team. I saw the bomb squad out here. Of course, full force shown from Palm Springs PD. And before we get into the chronological timeline of what happened to these 3 officers, I first want to say the KMIR News family, you know, we're all a family here in the Coachella Valley, and 3 officers were shot a short time ago. We now know that we've lost 2 of our local officers, a female officer who just became a mother, just returned from maternity leave, has a 4-month-old child, also a veteran who has dedicated his life to the Palm Springs Police Department, was due to retire in a few months. Those are the lives lost here in North Palm Springs today, folks. So as I give you the details in yet another police officer shooting where these brave men and women put their lives on the line, let's think about what happened today. Now I'll back up and tell you what we know. And again, this is a fluid situation. This is an active shooter. Most likely the shooter, police just told me, maybe even watching our report or media report on what's going on. So around 1 o'clock, Palm Springs Police received a call to respond to this home on Cypress. It was a domestic call. Those 3 officers responded. By the way, the veteran officer who was killed, it was his day off, we're told, but he came in anyway. That's what cops do. They responded to this home on Cypress. Immediately upon entering the scene, getting out of their squad cars, we're told they were fired upon. Those 3 officers were hit. The gunman, we believe, is still holed up inside the home. We are told it's a barricaded situation. We don't know if there are hostages in there. We believe there could be. Again, we have seen a small army of police from Palm Springs, Riverside County Sheriff. There are 2 helicopters above the scene. The bomb squad is here with their robot. If you're in the area of Racket Club north to Joyce, between Farrell by Cerritos, just stay out of the area. They want people to stay away. If you live in this area, stay inside your home. We will, of course, have more live reports from here and the hospital coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live in North Palm Springs. Dan Ball, KMIR News. Angela, back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that update, Dan. Now, we have been told that the next press conference will be happening at 5:45, so of course, tune in at KMIR News at 6 for the very latest. Once again, 3 Palm Springs police officers have been shot. 2 of those have died. We're going to continue to follow this tragic story. We'll be back at 6.